What is going on, Governor? Chisgule here, and today we are going to unlock the expertise skill on Charles Martel. If you like guides where we push the commanders to their limits, you should definitely like and subscribe, because that's a thing we're going to do here, and we are a sponsored creator for Rise of Kingdoms. So with that said, we are going to expertise this bad boy, Charles Martel. It is going to add a solid 5% infantry defense and infantry health, along with 20% march speed. And it's at march speed that is really interesting to me. We're going to get a look at just how much faster Charles Martel and Richard I will go with a full infantry march when they've got that 20% march speed. Because that seems really good for a place like Ark of Osiris. Like, really good. So we're going to start the video off simply by showing, I don't know, like a 100-meter dash here. How long does it take for Charles Martel to go, let's say, to this flag over here by my alliance member, Fun Factory? We're going to send an army. We're then going to open a bunch of gold keys to try to get a bunch of Martel sculptures. We started saving up our gold keys because I was sort of saying, like, I bet you they'll maybe come up with some new commanders for KVK. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. If I really believe that, I should save my gold keys. But since I'm about to expertise Martel, and all of the Martel sculptures that I would get in gold keys are going to be worthless after I expertise Martel, I may as well open all the gold keys now. Then we're going to expertise him. Then we're going to do some battles. We're going to test against a 25 barbarian as well, before and then after. We'll do a comparison, and then we'll test this run speed again. Anyways, that's enough chatter. There we go. Bunch of long swordsmen with Richard I. So it's going to be 3 minutes and 20 seconds is what it says to go to this flag. So let's see how much faster it'll be with the 20% march speed. Now, if I actually send them, by the way, it should be much faster than that. Yeah, it's like 2 minutes and 40 seconds because I'm on Alliance territory, and it doesn't factor that in, I think, when it does the calculus. So we're going to send them back. That's fine. And now we're going to open a bunch of gold keys, and we're going to have to do that little verification exercise in just a minute here. So let's go in. We've been saving up gold keys for a while. We got a bunch of these things to rip through. Let's open them. I mean, I like the suspense of one at a time, so that's how that's going to go. Here we go. Gold keys, baby. It's been a while since I've done a gold key opening. Honestly, oh, hey. Mehmed II. I mean, that's legit. And Cleo. Ooh, okay. Well, we're off to a good start here. We're going to power through these pretty quickly, but one at a time is just, like, way more fun. Ho! Hello! Winner! Julius Caesar. All right. We're doing it, fam. We're doing it. Timo. Fine. Herman. I mean, we need Herman. Sort of. Cao Cao. Rip Cao Cao sculptures. This is something about expertising commanders that, like, makes me a little uncomfortable. Is like, for instance, that Joan of Arc is not really worth much to me right now. You can use their... Ooh, hey, 5 Martys. This is why we're opening the gold keys. 5 Martels. Let's keep it going. Whoa, Freddy! This opening is good. This opening is so good. Wow. Okay. We're doing it. I sort of debated, by the way, like, should I be doing Freddy? Whoa! Whoa! Hold the phone. I mean, I don't have words. Just keep smashing the button, Chisgule. Just keep smashing the button. OMG, this is a good key opening. This is a good key. This qualifies. This 100% more Freddy's. This is more Freddy. This is like, we just got as much Freddy as I've gotten, like, the entire time I've been playing Rise of Kingdoms. Not really, but almost. Alright, let's keep ripping this. Gold keys are fun. Man. Anyways, what I was saying was that after you expertise a commander, the only use for their sculptures is basically as star sculptures. And they don't even offer a whole lot of experience or luck. So you can use them to star up a commander, but I don't know. I'm just going to hang on to mine if I... Holy wow! Triple Freddy's! Wow! Wow, I was going to make the joke earlier that I was twinning, but this is like tripleting? Seriously? 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 I'm just like... So I'll say this. This is like, is this a sign from the universe? Change direction, Chisgule. Just work on Freddy. I got a message from one of my subscribers who was like, "Hey, Chisgule, I heard that you're thinking about doing Charles Martel," because I was talking about that in my Discord. Links in the description. Um, I spoil in some ways kind of a lot of my content before I rip Cao sculptures. Rest in peace, buddy. All right, we'll keep going. I give hints about some of the content I was thinking about, and I just sort of threw it out there, like, hey, I think I'm going to expertise Charles Martel. And I got this long message from someone who was saying you really should do Freddy instead of Charles, which I think is kind of interesting. We'll talk about that. I don't know how I feel about... Like, Freddy's very good and very flexible as a commander, but the thing is that I've already powered up Martel so much that just, like, if I'm going to use him, I may as well have him maxed out and then work on somebody else. So, anyways. Final gold keys. Holy moly. We're going to... Dude, that was nuts. I mean, that gold key opening was legit. That's one of the most legit gold key openings I've had in a really long time. Like, I don't know what to do with myself. Let's just... Like, what just happened? So, Freddy... I mean... we can just upgrade his first skill. Wow, we got so many sculptures of Freddy. If we leveled him up, which we could do, but I'm saving my star sculptures right now, we could even put one skill toward this right here, never give up. So that could be a little bit higher. Wow. Wow, Freddy's tempting. He's on my short list. He's on my short list. Right now we have a Charles Martel mission. And what I want to do is I want to test it before and an after against barbarians. Before and an after against barbarians so that we can just get a look at, like, here's what the 10% total of additional infantry stats does. Spoiler alert, I just don't think 10% is going to be that much on top of where we're already at. We're going to use a combination that you wouldn't normally use for barbarians, but it is closer to what I would actually use in a PvP-like scenario. We're going to send these guys out together, and this is pre-expertise. So we've got the timing on the 100-meter dash, and we've got this report that we're going to fire up in just a minute, and then we'll be able to compare the two. By the way, I just want to show you my infantry build real quick because it's changed. I'm now using this. I think Testudo formation is profoundly overrated. I don't think it's very good. I would rather have loose formation, 9% skill damage taken reduced in most situations, I think. And so I just rearranged my points in order to accomplish that. And there's a number of reasons why I think that's the case. But I'm going to talk about that a lot in a separate video because like, infantry builds are a thing we need to talk about. It deserves its own whole video. So here we go. This battle go in with our infantry commander, Richard I, at the helm. We're going to take a look at the number of units that are severely injured, I guess, and compare. Honestly, like, this barbarian is not tough enough to give us a real measure of what the difference will be like before and after, which may be a fine conclusion. All right. That's fine. We got to just do a little verification here. Get some free goodies. Free. Okay. And pretty soon this guy's going to get polished off. The thing that's interesting, by the way, about the counterattack damage lift from Martel is that it just gets better and better the more armies that are hitting you at a time. And the thing I like about it is that it's persistent. So not only is it like a little damage boost for your one skill attack every however many seconds, but it's like every single second you're getting hit by every single army, you're getting a benefit there. So, that's interesting. 73 severely wounded. This is... maybe my new build's not very good. Oh. I wonder if the new build is not as good in this situation, because like the skill damage attacks from like these little guys are like, they're nothing burger. Anyways, we'll favorite it. We'll compare the before and the after. We won't change the build, so that's not relevant. Now we go in. We take a look at Martel. We go to skills, and we're going to drop over a bunch of sculptures. We've been saving up in part, like we were thinking about going for Saladin, and like saving up for that, but we don't even know if universal sculptures are going to work on Saladin. Like, we don't. It's not known. Anyways, I'm going to make sure I don't mess this up and send too many sculptures. We're going to send 73 sculptures over, hit confirm, and then upgrade. And then we're going to send 80 sculptures over. I've seen other people mess this up, and they send too many sculptures, and that is such a rip sculpture situation. Plus 80, confirm, looking good. Here we go, baby. Expertise skill, incoming for Charles Martel. Bada boom, and we smash the button. Yes. Boom. 20% march speed, along with 5% defense and health for infantry. We did it, fam. We did it. Okay, look at that gold. Ah, the glow is real. Now we need to go run the 100-meter dash. How much faster is 20% march speed, really? Also, embarrassing, but where is the flag that I was using? Here. That's really funny. Zoomed out too much. Couldn't find it. Okay. Now we send new troops. Same drill. Okay. So we just shaved 23 seconds off of the total time, which seems pretty good. Like, that's a lot faster. And now we'll fire it off and then just look up here. So I believe it was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds after we accounted for the fact that we're on Alliance territory, and this was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They're moving pretty darn fast. They're moving pretty darn fast, but you know what occurs to me now? We need a better comparison point. We're going to send these guys back, and we're going to send our cavalry side by side with these guys and just like get a sense of how fast are the infantry now compared to the cavalry. That seems like a good idea. To do that, we're going to have another march come back to town. So in the meantime, we're going to find a 25 barb. We're going to send our infantry at this 25 barb so we can compare the before and the after. Bada boom, have at it. Have at it. And one of these marches should be coming back to town really soon. Indeed, yes, they are. So we're going to compare side by side what I think is a really good PvP Mina Cao Cao build. Both expertised. Send them in a line and race. We're going to race Charles Martel and see approximately how much faster they are. Actually, I don't have to race. All I have to do... I mean, we could look at it visually. All I have to do is actually send them to that flag. That's what I'm going to do. I'll just send them to the flag and we'll look at the time difference. And you can see how much faster they are or aren't compared to some cavalry. That's the way to do that. We found a smart way, fam. We found a smart way. All right, so here we go. We're going to hit this 25 bar. Both were in Alliance territories. This is apples to apples comparison. These guys are going to battle. I don't know. How much do we need to watch the details of the battle? I don't know that we do. What I want to do is look at the report from the last one, actually. I want to look at this report for a second. Oh, maybe I moved it to favorites. I did. Okay. So that seems fine. 73 severely injured. These guys are battling. I mean, this unit's not known for doing a ton of damage. It's a slower battle. The infantry battle. And it's actually not an infantry thing. That's the fact that neither Charles nor Richard does big damage. And that's fine. So, boom, there we go. Let's compare the before and the after. Barely noticeable. 73 severely wounded. We'll just hit favorite. Right? So, it's 73 there as well. I mean, battling barbarians is just not the right comparison point. It looks like we have slightly more units remaining in the unit, which would be a much bigger deal, honestly, over the course of a longer fight with a tougher opponent. You can barely tell the difference here. The number of severes is the same, and it's only 10% of stats, right? Like that's not that many. Let's do the race as we promised, going to the one flag we're going to over here. We're going to reinforce. This time we're going to send cavalry. I'll show you what the build for our cavalry looks like in a moment. Okay, so, wow. It's 2 minutes and 26 seconds before we actually have them out and about and running, and it's a minute 55 after they are actually on the field. Now, our infantry was slower. So infantry is still slower than what we think a good PvP build is. Let's just go back over here. So this is the build we're using on our Minamoto. It's got an emphasis on move speed. It's got some emphasis on move speed anyways, because we head over here to just to get the move speed, and we're over here just to get move speed. Theoretically, we could cannibalize these points to do like more skill damage and reduce damage taken, but we'd be losing 6% move speed. I don't know how I feel about that. Like you have to be able to get places. So anyways, there you have it. There you have it. Just to compare one last time, the infantry move speed. The infantry move speed was as follows. It was 257 before we send them, and 220 after. So cavalry's still way faster. So is this the difference between being able to outrun cavalry? No. Does this make it so that I can move around the field with a whole heck of a lot more confidence with infantry? I would say yes, absolutely. And the reason is simply that infantry get caught out of position very, very, very easily. Very easily. And when you get caught up out of position, you're just dead with infantry because they can't get away, and there's no mechanism for that. So this makes it so I can both get to fights and away from fights and out of bad situations in a much more reasonable and expedited way. How do I feel overall about the expertise skill? I think it's okay. The move speed I'm really excited about. And what I'll add is if we compare to other commanders and things you could be getting, an expertise skill like we have here on Richard I reduces damage taken, which is super relevant in all situations, and adds a new kind of ability to Richard I, this slow ability, which is, I think, very, very powerful from an expertise skill. I think adding a new ability that complements what he's doing is good, and like infantry are slow. If they're going to chase down anybody, they need to be slowing them, right? Let's compare, for instance, to Cao Cao. This is a really great expertise skill because it goes all in on what Cao Cao was trying to do, which is big, big damage, right? This is interesting because the move speed makes your infantry a whole heck of a lot more usable in the open field, and I think infantry are good in the open field, especially because they counter cavalry. But it's not going to help me in the garrison. Neither is, by the way, the 50% march speed reduction. Like, that doesn't help me when I'm the garrison defender, right? So this is kind of a blend of helping you with garrison defense, helping you in the open field, because it boosts your infantry as well. If we just go down and take a look, by the way, at the expertise skill on Constantine, I'll just point out that this is a really interesting expertise skill specifically for a garrison defender, because you've got more than one type of troop in your garrison. 15% attack, 5% defense is really good because that's going to all troops. So that's like 20% of stats, but it's going to all troops. So that's like 80% of stat boost if you think about it, because it's like 20% to infantry, 20% to cavalry, 20%. Wow. 80% of stat boost? That's really good for defending a garrison. It's less good for open field because you should just be using infantry in the open field. Do you see what I mean? Like, this expertise skill is really, really kitted for, like, he's the garrison defender. Which, like, we may have to work on that at some point. Our city gets attacked. That's a thing that happens. We may have to work on that at some point. In the meantime, we're really happy with Charles Martel being totally maxed out. Additional, the watchtower defense, I honestly, like, does next to nothing against a rally. Your watchtower dies in, like, 10 turns tops, I feel like. But the garrison attack bonus of 10% is really solid. I like that. I like it. I'm happy. If you've got questions, thoughts, concerns, things we should have looked at with Charles Martel, definitely let me know in the comments. I'd be very eager to hear that. Like and subscribe if you found this helpful, interesting, fun, whatever. And until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.